But this, so we typically meet on Saturdays at 11 o'clock. That's our regular time. But this time, due to certain unavoidable conflicts, and based on the feedback that we received from the community, we tried to be in the evening on a weekday. So thank you for accommodating and joining. So today we want to introduce to our community, the FHIR India community, the OHSD, what is it called? OHSDSI community, which is the body behind development and propagation of OMOP standard and several other initiatives around that. So we'll do that, and that's the main purpose of today's meeting, to learn a little bit about what is OMOP, what is this OHSI community doing, and how can both the FHIR India community and the OMOP community come together and do work for betterment of analytics and research in Indian context. So with that, I think I will invite Arun for a few minutes to talk about HL7 India and what is HL7 India, what does HL7 India do, and post that we will get started. Over to you, Arun.
Okay, hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you, Satyam, for organizing yet another mid-month session. This was supposed to happen a few weeks ago, and I believe because of unavoidable circumstances, this had to be postponed. But anyway, it is being conducted on 21st of August. So most of you already know me, and most likely I have worked with some of you in various engagements, right? So coming to a brief introduction of HL7 as an organization. So HL7 International is an ANSI accredited standards development organization. Over the past few decades, it has created various standards for healthcare interoperability. Of course, it is very well known for HL7 version 2.x. And many of us do use HL7 both interchangeably as an organization and as well as the name of the standard. But from the HL7 stable, there are various other standards that has come out and which has been implemented in various degrees. One such standard that came up was version 3 or RIM, and we have seen that CCDA in one form or the other form uses the reference information model that has come up. And of course, the standard that we have all been working for the past decade is FHIR, Fast Healthcare Information Resources. Sorry, I'm incorrect. It's called as FHIR. And in addition to that, of course, there are various other standards like Arden syntax, CCOW, etc., which some of us may have encountered, but most of us may not have encountered. So HL7 India as an organization is the affiliate of HL7 India International. It has its own governing body, and of course, we are located within Bangalore. So welcome everybody to a session on a new standard which is more towards research. Yeah, back to you, Satyam.
Thank you. Thank you, Arun. So with that, what we'll do is we'll do a quick housekeeping. So we'll have everyone on mute, and we'll have the speakers, Dr. Shweta and Pratiman, speaking. And for all our questions, I would request if we can have those questions in the chat. And then we will do a quick check after like 15 minutes or 20 minutes into the session, where we can open up for quick Q&As and make it interactive. So initial 15-20 minutes, we'll just have the speaker speak, set the ground introduce us to the standard, and then it will be open floor. So with that, thank you again for joining in today. Over to you, Dr. Shweta and Prathiman. Parthiban, let me make you the host, right?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Okay. And also Dr. Parthiban, right?
Yes, Dr. Parthiban.
Yeah.
He's not doctor.
Anyone in medical field, we call them doctor.
Okay. That's great. So from today, Dr. Parthiban. Parthi, you're in mute.
Yeah.
Parthi, you're in mute.
Okay. So Sweta, maybe I think you can share the screen. I can walk through the slides.
Yes.
Yeah. With a brief introduction about yourself as well. I did not do a introduction.
Maybe we'll make our own introductions and get started.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for inviting us to be present in this prestigious community. And my name is Parthiban. I am the India chapter leader for a community called OHDSI. So which we want to familiarize you to that community, what we are doing and how we are doing, and maybe some exposure to the different data models that we are working on. And as a regular job, I work for a company called the Global Value Web, and I'm the Vice President for Innovation. And I'm joined by Dr. Sweta. She's the lead for India chapter of OHDSI. And I think I will briefly talk about OHDSI beginnings and what we are doing in the India chapter. And after that, maybe I think that would be a good time to have a break and maybe ask some questions. Then Sweta can continue to present on the OMOP model and what we are doing, some more diving into the details. Is that fine, Kumar? So this is the agenda that we thought of today: OHDSI and OMOP introduction, and then we will also do slightly cover what OHDSI India is doing, and followed by tools and architecture, some real-world studies, and some FHIR to OMOP conversion updates. And we also have planning to have this OHDSI certified course, and that's about it. Okay. So OHDSI, again, OHDSI is a global community. It's a community of volunteers just like you. And this community is observational health data sciences and informatics. OHDSI, like a FHIR, FHIR, you call it as a FHIR, we call this as OHDSI. This is a multi-stakeholder, and this is present in more than 100 plus countries across the world. And one of the major things that we want to do is how we can come up with the standardized tools and how we can generate real world evidence that can be really yield better health outcomes. So right now, if we are looking at the stakeholders, we see that it is coming from academia, medical products, pharma, regulators, technology providers, and clinicians, and even the epidemiology. And there are a lot of analysts also part of the groups as well. And as we were saying, we are looking at how we can really enable research, producing a real world evidence, and our focus has been that one single purpose, generating a lot of real world evidence, and then we can use it for a better health outcome. So, and one of the things is we have come up with a lot of applications, software applications, which is co-developed by all the volunteers in the community, and it is all open source, available for anyone joins this community. There is no charges that are available for this. So again, Odyssey, and there is one more acronym that you need to tackle here, that is OMOP. OMOP stands for Observational Medical Outcomes Partnership. This is again a common data model that we are talking about, and I think if we know if the data is coming from disparate sources with the different formats, different terminologies, and it needs to be standardized into a common data model and use some analysis and get analysis results. So this is a very basic principles in which our Odyssey and OMOP works. And I think OMOP, when we look at OMOP, is really a patient-centric model, and we are trying to track the longitudinal history of the patient. So what happened to the patient from the onset of disease to his diagnosis, and his procedures and prognosis, and how the outcome was, and then what kind of procedures that were effective, what kind of medicines that have worked. And here we use a lot of standard vocabularies, and it covers different domains in patient care, from the visits, observations, drug exposure, procedural occurrence, and devices and observations, and so many things. Sweta can go into much more details into these things, these concepts, and then how it is all stitched together. And I think this is the OMOP model has been accepted and used globally across all the research initiatives. So I was telling about the patient-centric model. There are 38 different tables that are present there, and this is commonly used in clinical trials and observational studies. And this is really wanted to be flexible and broader, and also we have to adapt to the you have the vocabularies that are available in different languages, different terminologies, so you need to bring it to common codes. So SNOMED CT has been used for all the diagnosis, and the RxNorm has been used for the drug specifications. And then again, we have the data provenance in place in terms of keeping the source and the standard concepts. And here conceptual vocabulary and the data model are blended. And again, like any other standard, it is not a static thing. It has to be evolved over the period, and it need to be extended for different purposes, whether it's for therapeutic needs or from functional needs, for whether it is going to be needed for pharmacovigilance or things like that. We can keep on expanding that. And the data based platform is again independent architecture. So again, why OMOP was adapted? I think when Odyssey was created a while ago, there were different common data models were considered. Okay, what would be the best common data model that should be adopted, instead of creating something new from scratch, instead of adding one more standard? Why don't we start adapting to the model that are existing? So there's a Odyssey community looked at the different CDM models at that point of time, Sentinel, PCO, OMOP, CDSC, and so on, and finally landed up on the OMOP model. And I think this is offers the best in terms of integrity, flexibility, and also easy to implement as well. So, yeah, going to the next slide, please. So I think most of you would be familiar with this progress from a data collection, whether it is going to be coming from laboratories or imaging or your health data, medical records. And of course, first we need to de-identify those data, and then we do a lot of pre-processing in terms of extraction, vocabulary standardization, transformation, loading, and then finally we get into the OMOP database, where after in the respective 38 tables we were talking about, and once that is there in the OMOP, then we can use the tools that are available with the community to do the lot of the studies, which can be a characterization studies or incident rate analysis or a population level estimation or a prediction models. And this is primarily used we have seen this uses in the disease history, treatment utilization, clinical decision, safety surveillance, and also in the commercial aspects also we have seen this OMOP models or OHDSI things has been used. So, and I think again, I don't have to stress too much about the federated data network approach, whether it is coming from different sources, whether it is going to be a lab or a hospital or a universities or pharma companies. You have the your patient database that need to be de-identified, and then the data is pre-processed, and then it is converted into a CDM model, and it gets into an integrated data management platform where we are able to standardize the vocabularies and the codes, and then get that real world data that would be really used to get the evidence, and that results can be shared with the community, and then this all the results also archived. So I think this is the basic tenant in which we are doing the studies, and across the net we are doing a lot of global network studies as well. So the same approach is followed everywhere. So I think again, in terms of the benefits, data privacy, standards, market value optimization, there are things that these benefits are common to many of the initiatives, but the major thing is how we can generate the real world evidence adhering to the multinational standards, like as we were saying, 100 plus countries. So we need to abide to the standards that are existing across the different countries. So that is something that has been built into our work, and we are able to successfully adopt this model across the different regions as well, and also different diverse scopes. And one of the major things that we have seen is a lot of global partnerships and the global network studies have happened. Especially it was very, very evident during the COVID time. So where there was different studies that happened across different countries to validate certain prescription, like hydroxychloroquine and things like that. And OHDSI was, I think, was the first one to really say the effectiveness of using that product for COVID-related things. And then this study was done in almost 10 plus countries that time. And briefly, I would introduce what is OHDSI India is doing. And OHDSI India, again, this is this chapter is created in India, even though we have an Asia Pacific chapter, and Australia, different countries have it. But specific to India, we thought there are initiatives, there are priorities that need to be taken care. So instead of having the part of Asia Pacific community, we should have a India specific community. That is how we started up 2-3 years ago on this OHDSI India journey. And Global Value Web which is organization myself and Sweta represent. We are one of the founding partners along with Janssen Pharma, Johnson Johnson Company, Pharma Company, and the JSS College, Mysore, the academic institution. We three organizations came together and established the Indian chapter. And you see some of the chapters there. Not all the chapters that you are listed here, but these are some of the samples. Europe is a one big chapter consisting of several nations, and the US is of course is the major driver for the OHDSI community, and of course in Asia Pacific, every country almost established their own chapters as well, and this network as represents almost 600 or 700 million patients, and then there are 5 billion plus patient data is part of the community. Part of the community in the sense it is owned by the individual data partners. But if somebody wants to do a specific study, they can approach the data partner, and you would get access to run your algorithms on the data. You will never get access to the data itself, but you will have an access or a privilege to run your algorithms on their data, and then would be able to share the results with them. So this is the community benefit that we have. Around 2,300, I believe the count is more than 3,000 at this moment. And as usual, communities are very much supportive of each other, taking the needs of the communities and help each other out to the maximum possible extent. And as I was saying, we have I think a collection of open source packages right from the start of your EHR or any kind of a medical record, how it needs to be cleansed and then processed, and then how you check the data quality, how do you do the analysis, and how do you report it. So all sorts of tools has been developed and made it available. And there is a dedicated team of programmers who are part of the community continuously maintain this software application to meet the emerging needs as well. So that is and I think we are having collaborations with various institutions in India. I think Ashoka University we are trying to establish a digital center of excellence where we can process, we can take the digital health record and how we can process, create methodologies and make the tools available for the community to use it. And then L&T Infotech and IM, again, Ayurvedic thing. We also have an interest in natural medicines. So we also work very much with the Ayurvedic side of things as well, and Health Parliament and Health Art, and I think ACTM as well. So these are all some of the partners that we working with currently. And along with that, we are working with multiple hospitals in India. For example, JSS College in Mysore, Aster Hospital in Bangalore, and also couple of other hospitals in South India. Primarily, our focus has been on the South Indian hospitals where our reach was easier. And we also are working with Arvind Eye Hospital, which is one of the biggest eye treatment chains based in Tamil Nadu. And currently, the initiatives are like we are doing a breast cancer studies, and then using extensive NLP methodologies, and we have co-developed with some other tools that we made it available to the community as well. And we are also doing a pediatric immune studies, and then we are doing training courses for the collaborators. And OHDSI community as such is a not-for-profit entity. So although GVW, the organization, is a for-profit company, but purely this is a not-for-profit community, and we do a lot of evangelization trainings to the community so that people can start using these tools and benefit from generating the real-world evidence. And of course, we are working with you for the FHIR integration, and we are also creating OMOP compatible specific patient registries. We have the cardiovascular registry that has been created, that has been built now, and that is going to be rolled out to a hospital in Mysore soon. And I think we are also actively looking at, okay, if you have to look at a very large scope of work involving digital health center of excellence, how we can do that, and how we can sustain the efforts through some kind of a funding proposals. That is also something that we are working. I think at this moment I will stop here and take any questions. Me and Sweta can take questions, and after which Sweta can go into the details of OHDSI tools. Is that okay, Satyam?
Yes. So there are a few questions, Parthiban, Arun here.
Yeah.
First question is, any community messaging channel like Slack or Discord or any other channels?
Yeah. We have a LinkedIn, and many other channels are there. We will share those details at the end, towards the end of I think, Sweta, those slides are there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we have that, and we have a Teams channel as well. And once you register into the, like we have a registry where you can just nominate yourself there, and then you will get all the access to the Teams and all the channels, whatever we have.
Next question is, what are some concrete examples of the real world evidence that can be generated using this framework, and how does it provide value to researchers, regulators, or clinical practitioners?
Yeah, we have some case studies that once I show the OHDSI tools, there are 4 case studies which I will be showing. You can get some information from there, and there are multiple, like thousands of studies that are every year generated by OHDSI or OMOP way, and we are currently doing one breast cancer study that can be useful. Maybe in next workshop we can even show the study as well. For now, we have 4 case studies that are important in OMOP or OHDSI way, and we will show that.
Any hospitals or work done in Hyderabad?
As of now, we are talking with Continental Hospital. They are open for breast cancer research, but the talks are not yet completely confirmed. Maybe next year we are anticipating some kind of study with them.
The last question, OHDSI Singapore is being kept in a different color code. Any specific reason?
I think at the time of this slide creation, the discussions were ongoing to establish the Singapore chapter, but currently that is fully established and it is fully up and running. And currently Malaysia and I think one other country, Philippines, or one other country, they are in the process of establishing their chapters there. So I think that was shown to differentiate the work in progress.
Thank you, Parthiban. Thank you, Dr. Shweta. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, can I move to the next slides? OHDSI tools.
Thanks, Parthiban and Dr. Shweta. Before we get to the next section, I think there are a lot of people on the group and quite senior and quite experienced as well, right? So just wanted to see like if there are any questions, any comments that you have, or any experience that you want to share before we go to the next section of the discussion.
Yeah. Sure.
This is Pramod here. Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Please, sir.
One standard that stood out was RxNorm. And, RxNorm is a very US specific sort of a standard. For example, In India, we're going to go into something called CDCI, Common Drug Database, Common Drug Code of India, which is SNOMED based. So your challenge in India is going to be some of the combination drugs that we have here, which may not have a RxNorm equivalent or coding. So how are you all overcoming that?
So with respect to that, there is something called as RxNorm extension, which Odyssey is building. So they will extend these kind of other than US drugs that, for example, I have found a drug that with this I can submit to them to add it to the extension part. They will do that. And as well as we are currently trying to map Indian branded drugs to generic composition. So to get the RX norm as well. So this is how we are managing. And if it is for Indian study, if it is for Indian university or a hospital, we can easily adopt it to the SNOMED or the coding system what we are currently using, and it is not required for us to really follow RX as well. When it is an international study or if we have to adopt a global study, then there is a requirement for that. Otherwise, we can create our own standards and we can work on that. Even people uses their local codes, like example, Arvind Hospital, right? They have their own local codes. They don't want to extend it to anything. So they can they are developing their own kind of dictionary. So it is not required we have to follow the arts norm as of now.
So when it goes into your database, I mean the OMOP, the database, it is converted to the code that is understood by because there's a standard they are following there, right?
Yes, we can form a table there. We can form a field there
Okay.
where it says that SNOMED ID, whatever we are doing. Actually, we are doing the breast cancer study and we are following the SNOMED CT as well, which is developed by ISO work group 6. SNOMED, they are developing for Indian drugs, right? We are following that codes as well.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So good evening.
Yeah.
I'm Saravanan. So thank you for organizing this event. So I'm very new to this particular domain. So I have worked in healthcare and I'm a researcher and I'm closely working with the university as an assistant professor. So we are currently looking for research opportunities which is related to FHIR and OMOP. So if I need to start from the scratch, so what are all the possible study sources for me as well as for my students? So we can work on Indianized research through OMOP.
Yeah, hello Sarvanan, Shweta here. Now, currently we are for this purpose because we are FHIR as well as the OMOP compatibility, right? We are there are already some guidelines formed from the global chapter as well. They were released, and even we are planning to have a work group in India, and then now we are trying to start from the scratch how we can adopt those guidelines to our ABDM FHIR, and we want to do that. That's how we connected with Satyam also. Maybe you can be a part of that work group and we can start working from there for this. Any comments from you, Parthi, you want to add?
No, I think it's a good initiative. I think we want more and more collaborators to come forward. And again, we have a large, we maybe the country which is have the largest disease burden, but we don't have the that much data that can be effectively used for research. So more collaborators coming forward to unlock the data that is available here and make India-specific studies that would be very, very useful for making a better healthcare decisions. I think all that collaborations are most welcome. And as Shweta was suggesting, joining these work groups, or if you have any specific things that you want to pursue on, we are happy to help you get you started. And we are doing the similar work with several other universities and hospitals. I think we are on a kind of a evangelization of things that we are doing there. We go there presenting, and then we conduct workshops and make them aware of things, and then and get the team from that group get started on this OMOP and the OHDSI tools, familiarize them, and they can start using them and give some guidance whenever that is needed.
Okay, thank you. One more question. So how do we join in that workforce? So I'm from Chennai. So is there any local chapter, or otherwise I have to directly get in touch with you? That is one thing. Second thing is I'm working in a university which is having medical studies, hospital, medical college, and engineering college. So I'm the part of engineering college, so I can connect with the entire university system. So what are all the procedures I have to follow and whom I need to contact?
Yeah, I think you can reach out to this. We will share the contact details. I think there is a slide at the end of the presentation. You can reach out to us, and or you can write an email to us. We are happy to help you. We are happy to connect, and you are also in Chennai, and we are also based in Chennai as well.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let's proceed. Yeah. Over to you, Dr. Shweta.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So coming to OHDSI tools, I will show what like how we get to real world data to real world evidence by using OMOP and OHDSI tools as such by doing a large scale analysis. So this is a simple like how the clinical data is converted to real world insights with OMOP. So the left part suggests what are all different kinds of real world evidence data, the real world data that we have usually in the real world. So once the data is there, we usually de-identify it and perform a technological kind of scripts return, that is extract, transform, load, and then convert the data, which is like data standardization to OMOP level. And then we do a data analysis that is like clinical characterization studies, patient level prediction studies, and population level estimation studies. Then we generate the evidence. So we can elaboratively see this complete process into two parts. One is my data standardization, that is converting the data to OMOP standards, which is a bit technical, and the other part is large data analysis, like that is more towards the studies and research. These tools are mainly used for data preparation and data standardization. So I have my raw data, and then we have to design the ETL and perform the ETL. So to design the ETL, White Rabbit and Rabbit in a Hat, these are the Rabbit tools that are helpful for ETL design. So what a White Rabbit does? White Rabbit is something like a data profiling. It gives an idea of what kind of data in a data engineering language for a technical person. It is more for a technical person. And then in Rabbit in the Hat is something like connecting a domain person with the technical person. So because we are converting medical data to OMOP standards and the technical person has to write an SQL queries, we will give some kind of like instructions in this Rabbit in the Hat, that what kind of codes we have to use, what kind of terminologies they have to do, what if we are representing M and F, what M means it is male, F means it is female. So such kind of instructions will be given to the technical person who's writing the ETL. So ETL implementation, we use Athena. Athena is a like standardized vocabulary dictionary, I would say, which has OMOP concept IDs there. So it has RxNorm, it has SNOMED ID, ICD-9, all kind of standard vocabularies, even along with Medra we can find there. And Usagi is like when we are not able to find a direct code, Usagi is something which helps us in manually coding these CDM vocabulary. So this is about ETL implementation and how we use the dictionaries. And usually for patient level data, where we use this OMOP Common Data Model and where we place it is PostgreSQL is most commonly used. There are many opportunities on where we can save, but PostgreSQL is something we usually use. And then for testing and quality check, Achilles, which is based out of our technology. So it is used for profiling our CDM data and like understanding the quality. I'm sorry. understanding the quality assessment, and explore population level summaries. So this is about the Achilles. These are all data standardization tools. And data quality dashboard is one of the important tool in OMOP, which gives the plausibility, conformance, and completeness about the data. So for example, plausibility, we can say that, for example, a drug dose, which should be given only for 2,000 units, it is giving 20,000, it is mentioned in the data, there is a data error. And if the patient is born in 2050, it is showing as an error. So such kind of errors will be identified. And conference, like missing data, missing codes will be identified here. And completeness of the data, for example, a drug is for a condition, for that a specific drug is mentioned wrongly, then in such case this will identify. Such kind of quality assessment will be done with the data quality dashboard. And actually, for any kind of research we have to perform, expects 80% of a good data quality dashboard it should show, so that our research and statistical power of that research will be good to go. So this is the ETL process we follow. These are all the tools I have already discussed about, the Rabbit tools and the Achilles data quality dashboard, how we use. But usually the process is not a one-person thing. We need a good team where data experts and CDM experts are required here together to design the ETL, and then a medical knowledge person who can understand the codings and mapping should be there. And then the quality checks has to be done, and the ETL should be implemented, and we have to sit together to get more details about it. So this is about the ETL process. And ODC user interface for data analysis. Once the data is standardized and moved to OMOP, this is the interface where we connect the data to OMOP data to. So we can create concept sets, cohorts, and we can perform the prediction models or population estimation studies here. For example, once the data, a hospital is converted the data to OMOP standards, and this interface is given to the researchers can identify their cohorts. I want a patient with diabetes mellitus, which is like who are like more than 40 years, who are not pregnant, and like using metformin or using glyburide. I can create such kind of inclusion and exclusion criteria and compare the side effects where metformin used and glyburide is used. I can even predict, like if metformin is taken, who's experiencing a kind of any side effects, long-term side effects. So these kind of analysis can be done by using this tool, and this is completely based out of our technology. Once we create these cohorts and all these things, we can download the R kind of script, and we can just go and see the results. This is how it works. So what it does actually, so it does mainly three parts, that is clinical characterization, the natural history of the studies, and like what happened to the patient. That's how the clinical characterization studies works here. And the population level estimation will show the causal effects, and patient level prediction, like it will show what will happen to the patient. So these are few examples we have showed here. Maybe we will share the presentation as well for better understanding in detail. So exploring data analysis with ODC Atlas. For ODC studies, a protocol is mandatory. It is a building block. First, they always ask us to prepare a detailed protocol and come with a research question. And then we can create the concept sets like diabetes mellitus and metformin users, such kind of concept sets. I can create my cohort and then do a characterization study, and then instant rate analysis, maybe a treatment pathway analysis, then go for a population level estimation study, and then a prediction ready like model can be built. And the quality checks are given like with packages, and inside the Atlas itself, we can do all the quality checks which are shown on the right hand side. So we have attached all the resources here. Maybe these are all available in GitHub. There will be a detailed information available. We will be sharing this presentation. You can go through it in detail, how these tools can be helpful. The basic ODC architecture, if we see here, we have to come from the down. the source data, and then it is like the ETL will be performed, and the data standardization is done, which is connected to the Athena, which is a CDM vocabulary. Then the data is converted to OMOP standards, where it is connected to the ODC web API, and the client is given with the researchers can review the atlas. So the studies can be performed on the atlas, and the results, only the results or the scripts will be shared for a networking study, and it is not required for anyone to share the data or anything here. So this is about the architecture and some real world case studies. So this is the biggest study that they have done while COVID-19. And we have heard a lot of buzz during the COVID-19, like one will say that hydrochloroquine is working with, some people will say that people who are using AC and RE, ARP or something like they are having severe side effects. And there are many such kind of things we are listening around. So the community with 37 healthcare big databases with 330 researchers from 30 countries got together, and within 30 days they were able to do all these studies because the data is already converted to OMOP standards actually. So what they have done, they have identified that hydrochloroquine study, it is not really doing any great at that moment, and there are relative risk of cardiovascular death when it is used along with azithromycin, and it is not with amoxicillin, it is not giving any kind of side effects. And it studied the COVID natural history, and as well as they were able to develop a personalized risk calculator. Mainly it is used in Korean hospitals actually. Once the patient is joined in a hospital, they were able to identify whether to take this patient inside as an inpatient, or they can be sent to home, or this patient, what is the chance of getting back to hospitalization, what is the morbidity rate, what is the mortality rate, they were easily calculating. So this is one of the biggest study of Odyssey. And population level detection of infertility. So as we know, this is of international interest about infertility, and this is done on US claims data, and the study type is population level estimation. And with the machine learning model using this OMOP and Atlas, they were able to identify early prediction of infertility and PCOS, endometriosis, and within 1 year, the prediction rate is 69%, but it improved in the second year. So this is one study they have done. And patient level prediction model, or type 2 diabetes mellitus, which is developed by Tapai Medical University. So in this, they were able to develop a machine learning algorithm mainly to predict the ischemic stroke among type 2 diabetes mellitus patients. And the critical factors they identified were stroke history, aspirin, ACE, and contact laxative. So they were able to build a very good AUC curve with this, and also a personalized medicine for specific anti-diabetic medication groups they were able to identify. So this is one more study. And this is one of the interesting studies, I would say, for clinical trials. Many hospitals will conduct clinical trials. And when the hospital, whether my hospital is feasible for that clinical trial, even the sponsor will have this question by recruiting the patients. So what they have done, they have used this atlas, and they were able to create the cohorts with the inclusion criteria and exclusion criteria for that particular clinical trial study. And they were able to easily identify whether that specific site is feasible for that particular clinical trial or not. And this is one of the successful use case for clinical trial feasibility studies. So FHIR to OMOP conversion updates, if we see currently, this is a global initiative. They have already started a very big community as such. A work group is working on it, and they have developed an implementation guideline, which is done by HL7 Vulcan Accelerator. And FHIR is for data exchange, and OMOP is for mainly for observational studies and large-scale analytics. So combining this will be a huge help for the real-world evidence generation as well. Mainly the vision is to transform the FHIR-based clinical data into OMOP CDM model, and they want to do multi-site studies as such. So this is the basic, we have given a link here. You could be able to do that. They call it as an FTO implementers, that is FHIR to OMOP implementers. On the left hand side, these are all like transforming strategies and best practices, coded field mapping principles and FHIR to OMOP code mapping patterns and codable concept mapping patterns, values concept mapping patterns, technical artifacts and terminology server API utilization is something they have included in the implementation guideline. So a simple base mapping pattern I have attached here on the right hand side. So we are what we are trying to do, we are trying to see the guidelines and see how far we can adopt it is our primary interest area. And then we are trying to do that. So we have created a work group. That's where Dr. Satyam, like everybody is inside. So what we are currently trying to do, we want to combine or convert the ABDM FHIR to OMOP and see how far the guidelines are useful for us to go further. It will help us to get some grants and work on it. Maybe developing a proof of concept linking OMOP CDM with FHIR is our primary objective, and we are looking for more collaborators, and everybody here are welcome to have more studies and more information in this area to learn equally with each other. So there is a course that we are going to introduce. This is the first OHDSI India chapter course for our collaborators. You can register here. Maybe it will be open in the next quarter or the last quarter of this year. We are planning to open this course, and it will be a certified course which is authorized from the global community as such. So this is how you can join our journey. There is a registration link here. You can be a part of our collaborators list, and we will keep updating you about our updates and what we are currently working on, and you can be a part of our work groups as well. So this is about us. Any further questions, we would be happy to take. Hopefully,
I think we have 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shweta. This was comprehensive. And I think I got to understand what OMOP intends to do, how it intends to do, and what is the tooling available. I think looks like you have quite elaborate tooling that is available, right? So for different mappings, different extractions. Would there be a logical next step is to understand more about OMOP, maybe a little bit more technical in the next session, if we can plan that? Would that be feasible? We can work out the time, and we can work out so that we can get a little details onto the data model, how it is, and maybe some kind of, if there is some recorded demo or something that we can understand and start doing that. There are few questions still on the chat. And one of the question is about use of NLP or free text. How far is the free text mapping in OMOP successful?
Yes, currently we are doing a breast cancer data, and the data, that study completely is based out of NLP. So I would say that we were able to extract text from the discharge summaries of breast cancer data. Yes, it is very successful, I would say, and maybe we can show that as well in one of our workshops, how we are successful, and what is what kind of an entity recognitions we are able to do. We are able to build some relationship extractions and concept mappings we were able to do. We were able to code it to the UML extract codes. Yes, it is successful. We would say there are a lot of studies as well. There is a work group as well separately in the NLP as such.
Thank you, Dr. Shweta. So we just have few more minutes. Dr. Chandal, are you on the call?
Good evening, all. I think it's a very interesting session. So I think this is the first step towards our collaboration with OHDSI. We hope more things to come from this session onwards. We are from HL7 India. We are happy to take this forward to the next level and look for how to work closely on this.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Chandal. Thank you, Dr. Shweta and Parthiban and the community. We will continue this collaboration. Go ahead. Any questions?
Yeah, can I just add one comment? I'm Sudha here. I
Yeah,
have
please.
worked quite a few OMOP projects as part of my work here in past few years. And of course, I have met Shweta even in a symposium in Rotterdam a couple of years back. So, I mean, like, I look at it the way things are here, at least in the West. The hospitals or the hospital chains, they are very proactive to support their researchers and doctors who are, doing research, because each research they have to initiate the entire process and need to find collaborators and and do the data mapping or whatever very manually. Previously, there's no, I mean, if you don't think of CDM being available, but here now our hospitals on a day, they have special IT teams who are converting OMOP data in real time. In the sense, batch every day the data is uploaded to their OMOP repository in the CDM, meaning one time ETL is set up, which is of course a tedious process, the first effort, but then after that it is a batch process that happens on a daily basis. And any new research, the researcher has to just approach the and ask what are their inclusion and exclusion criteria. And as Shweta just pointed out, their protocol, and then they have them data already ready, and then they can do network studies or just their own research. It doesn't matter. So, I mean, I have seen Stanford and few others who are actually doing this, and from many years actually. They have from a previous version of CDM as well. Now I think so. A lot of them are doing, and I think that is what would benefit. And in India, also hospitals and groups of hospitals, we have so much free stuff here in India, and I think you're not actually sharing. This is one big misnomer that people or hospitals think that you are sharing your data, but with network studies, you are not sharing the data, but you are actually sharing the inferences or the statistical outputs that you are sharing. So that's what FHIR to OMOP. Yes, I think there are some teams who have worked on it, but I'm really not sure as a clinician how how rich that data would be. When you have the EHR data directly from hospital, I'm not sure how data from FHIR to OMOP. But again, this is just me, yeah, bringing that. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Shweta, for your insights. I think working with Indian healthcare, it will be a learning, not just for ODC, not just for FHIR, but for entire ecosystem, the global ecosystem. I think we are just getting digital. I think it will take time, but experiments done in India will definitely have an impact global. And I know whatever is said and done, we have a lot to teach the world. And I think we are just getting started. So, thanks for your perspective, Dr. Sudha. With that, if everyone can come on camera for a minute, I can take a screenshot, and that will be our digital group photo.
I have one question.
Please, Monica.
Yeah, so what I understood is like how FHIR is there. See, similar way we have OHDSI, which is basically like a group. So it is basically like a group, which will be like for the research orientation, and basically all the hospitals which are sharing their data, they will be mapped, and their data we will be using for research. So how ma'am showed, like for COVID we did research, now for breast cancers they are doing the research. Like that, if any hospital wants their data to be analyzed, or if we are gathering multiple hospital data, or if anyone is doing the research, that data will be available anonymously as a only statistical or probability types of, and that can be utilized with ETL tools and the available tools that they are there in OHDSI tools and the links that are provided. So there means I what what my question is like, so if suppose, because I am on the AI side or anything, so if we want to, develop a model or to understand how it is working, or is there any correlation between any of the parameters like that? So is this data available like Kaggle or anything like that, or it is like a pure core research ziplined with like it is not available for anyone outsiders? It is
No.
just like we are doing the research,
No,
and
you have
how
lot
it
of
is.
synthetic data available as such. So you can just, we learned in that way, all these, whatever we are saying, right? We have a clear picture of like videos available, YouTube learning videos available. They will give the clear database, and they will help us in each specific test how we can do that. There are videos available where you can just review it, and we can follow the same methodology, and we can do that. It's not
But
like
the India database, do we have something like that, or it is like we are
Indian
creating
database.
only?
It's something like a synthetic database which is available. With that, we have to learn the process, and maybe for India, even it's it's very tough to get Indian data as of now with this. But currently, we can see a lot of kind of enthusiasm even in the hospitals, because because of this ABDM into picture.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to digitalize the data, right? We can see a huge momentum. Initially, we used to go and ask hospitals, there is something called as OMOP, but people are coming to us now to learn what is OMOP and can be adopted to our universities. Something we are seeing nowadays, like from past 1 year, we have seen a very good kind of momentum in India. Yes, like very soon you will see all these changes, Monica.
Okay, and last question, like, so I am basically from the technology side. I'm working in AI. I'm completely into like ETL tools and everything. Also, I can understand and do. But how can I collaborate, or how can I help you guys, or whether means how can I contribute like that?
Yeah, we are creating work groups for this purpose. So we will take a small pilot project or pilot study from there, and then we can learn together, and maybe we can take from a federated spot, or from a cloud. We will give you access to whatever like tools, everything, and you can work along with us. That's what the intention is for these work groups. Maybe slowly, you can join first of all our like community, and then slowly you can listen to that whatever we are doing, and we have our own community calls. You can join the community calls, and we can learn more, and then you can start along with us for a few studies, Monica.
Okay, but the goal is like whole whatever the data, raw data, which is undigitalized and randomly placed. Currently, we are not structured, nothing is there. So we
Yes.
just want at least the Indian data set to be there.
Yeah.
Other countries, and is there any other country that they have their data and we are using it? No.
Nobody will open such kind of data directly to any atlas or anything. It's just a synthetic data and demos what we have available. Even if you want to do some research, there is a data with synthetic access. You can learn there that atlas, researching, cohort creations, everything. But as a patient, if you have an algorithm, you have a research question, and you can approach to kind of, if you are in US, you are a researcher, you have a research question, you can go to a hospital and you can ask an access to that. Then they will be giving you an access where you can do the study. So that's how it is.
Yeah.
Time check.
Okay.
Time check.
Yeah.
So I think it's going one-on-one. So we will have forums where you can ask your questions and we get it answered. So just for time check, we're already 6 minutes over. So please get on to the cameras, and I think I'll say let's go, and then I'll take a snap.
Yeah.
So,
We are a little bit away. Some of you are very, very close to the monitor. Some of you are to the camera. Some of you are very, very back.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I think Kiran and all, everyone. All right. So on the count of 3, a screenshot will be taken. 1, Dr. Nilesh and all, your cameras are black. Hemant. 2 and 3. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the call today. We'll keep the momentum going. We look forward for the collaboration. And as Dr. Shudha mentioned, we will do something from India and we'll improve the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Shweta.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Parthiban, for joining in. And
you.
thanks, Manish,
Thank
for
you.
connecting everyone. Thank you, Manish.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.